Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga by the Pool. And we are rolling into the month of September 2022. And our focus for all of my LisaBug classes this month is connecting with the powerhouse, which is our core. So in yoga, we have what we call the bandhas or the locks. And we're going to focus today on the Uddiyana Bandha, which is the abdominal lock. And if you imagine a little place, maybe about 1 inch below your navel, deep within the deepest layer of your abdominal tissue, that is the Uddiyana Bandha. And we also refer to that as the transverse abdominis in our Western language. So we can focus on the Uddiyana Bandha in all of our poses. We can also focus on the Uddiyana Bandha as we're breathing. So what I'd like for you to do is just come into a mountain pose. You can stand with your feet about hips distance apart or tight together. And place your fingertips, maybe 1 or 2 fingers on each hand, just below the navel. And press in slightly. And as you start to breathe in, send the breath into the belly and expand your belly toward your fingers. Then as you exhale, pull your belly back in and then feel a bracing or a tensing underneath your fingertips of that transverse abdominis. If you'd like, you can close your eyes if you feel stable standing. And inhale, expand the belly forward. Exhale, and gently draw the navel in and brace the Uddiyana Bandha. And as you're doing this breath, try to relax everything else. So we're not hunching, tensing up our shoulders or our jaw, our facial muscles. And then once you feel like you have that with the fingers applied, then just let your arms release to the sides of your body and continue that breathing, our belly breath. And really notice how the drawing in of your navel toward your spine and that bracing helps to support your lower back. And on your next breath, inhale, exhale and sit into chair and brace that lower belly. Just let your arms sweep slightly forward. Inhale, pull your arms back, expand through your chest. Exhale, lower into your chair, pull in the Uddiyana Bandha and brace. And just do a few of these at your own pace. Connecting with that lower abdominal region. And this action does work those abdominals and supports the lower back. We'll do 2 more. And 1 more. Then hold your chair pose and keep bracing the Uddiyana Bandha while you're breathing. So we're not expanding the belly out and in. We're keeping it braced as you're breathing in and out through the nose. Two more breaths. Then inhale, rise up. This time sweep the arms all the way out and up. Exhale and swan dive into a half forward fold. So you're bringing your back to tabletop and bracing that Uddiyana Bandha. Breathe back in. Reach. Exhale, pull the abdominals in, brace the Uddiyana Bandha, come about halfway down. So it's like you're in tabletop. Should look like you're on your hands and knees if you were down on the mat. We'll do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, half lift. 1 more, breathe in. Come to your half lift, brace the Uddiyana Bandha and hold the bracing of your core, but keep the breath moving in and out without letting the belly go forward and back. It's really a technique that's learned to keep that bracing of your abs while you're breathing. One more breath. Then we'll inhale all the way up. This time, exhale into a full swan dive forward fold as far as you can go. Pull in your Uddiyana Bandha. And again, breathe in. Now, it's a lot harder to keep that core braced as you're in a complete forward fold. Really scoop your belly up toward your spine. You can always stay with that half lift if you'd like. And take one more inhale, sweep up. Exhale into your full forward fold. Hold the bracing of your Uddiyana Bandha, but keep the breath moving. One more breath. And reach your hands down to the mat. Step back to a plank. And you can allow your knees to drop down, especially on this first plank of the morning. And we'll focus on that Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale. Belly expands away slightly. Exhale, pull the navel in toward the spine. Check your alignment and your posture. Good head position. Shoulders are down. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, brace the core and push off of your hands into child's pose. Now we're going to breathe a little bit differently than we usually do here with yoga. So I'd like for you to take an inhale while you're in child's pose. Expand your ribs. And as you come forward to kneeling plank, exhale and fire the Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale to child's pose. Exhale to kneeling plank. Brace the lower abdominal. One more. Inhale, child's pose. Exhale, kneeling plank. And hold here 3 breaths without letting your belly move forward and back with the breath. So it stays braced. One more breath. Then exhale and come to all fours, hands and knees. So the hips lift a little bit so you're in your tabletop. And we'll inhale to cow. So let the belly drop down, the tailbone and the chin lift. Exhale and round up to cat and brace the Uddiyana Bandha, pulling the navel up toward the spine. At your own pace, moving, articulating the spine. And our awareness is really on that deepest layer of abdominal tissue, transverse abdominis. One more time, inhaling cow. Exhaling cat, brace the Uddiyana Bandha and hold this pose, but keep breathing in and out through the nose without moving the belly forward and back. So keep it scooped up. One more breath. And then bring it back to neutral. Right leg straight back. Inhale, drop your belly down slightly, lift your heel up. Exhale, scoop the Uddiyana Bandha in and up as you bring the knee forward, really rounding your back. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, scoop in. if you'd like, add the opposing arm to reach. Left arm reaches out as that right leg lifts behind you. Bring the elbow and the knee in toward each other. Let's do 2 more. As you reach out, the belly can slightly extend down toward the earth. Then really scoop it up, navel to spine. 1 more. Then scoop the Uddiyana Bandha in and hold this 3 breaths without moving the belly. And reach out long to hold, extend, and lower the knee and hand back toward the mat. Left leg goes straight back. Drop the belly down toward the earth. Lift the heel and the chin forward. Exhale, scoop, really hollow out that Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale to extend long. Exhale, bring it in. Option to extend the right arm. Reach. As we're in bird dog, spinal balance, pull the elbow and the knee toward one another. Really lengthen through the fingertips to the toes or the heel. And 2 more. Feel your core really stabilizing throughout the whole entire process of this sequence. 1 more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, scoop the Uddiyana Bandha up and hold that bracing 3 breaths without letting your belly expand forward and back. Keep it scooped up. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale back to all 4s. Tuck your toes underneath, but barely lift your knees off the mat, maybe 1 inch. This is called bear pose. From bear, lift your hips up toward the ceiling. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, drop your knees back down and hover just 1 inch off the mat. Brace the Uddiyana Bandha, bear pose. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower the knees and hover. 2 more. Extending the backs of the legs. And down, exhaling. 1 more time, lift the hips. Inhale. Exhale, hover the knees off the mat 1 inch. Hold your Uddiyana Bandha. Pull the abs up and keep breathing. If it gets a little too strenuous, let your knees go ahead and find the mat. 1 more breath. And then lift those hips back up into your down dog. Hold down dog and pedal out your feet a little bit. Bend 1 knee at a time and stretch. And still keeping your awareness on that Uddiyana Bandha. Notice how you're feeling down the backs of the legs this morning. The calves, Achilles tendons, hamstrings, and into your shoulders and wrists. Then both heels drop down. And we'll inhale to lift the right leg up. Take a big reach with that leg. Exhale, step forward toward the top of your mat. We'll plant the left foot behind at about a 45-degree angle, rising up to warrior 1. We'll really square and level off the hips. And just focus on breathing while you're bracing your Uddiyana Bandha. So not letting the belly expand forward and back, keeping it braced in as you breathe. And come to your goalpost arms Elbows bent about 90 degrees. Pull your shoulder blades back. Maybe lift your heart up a little bit, but keep that Uddiyana Bandha braced. So we're not just hanging into our back here. We're keeping that bracing action in the lower abdominals. Come back up, bring your palms to heart center. We'll inhale here in Warrior One, and as you exhale, lift the back foot off the floor into Warrior Three, and that's where we'll brace our Uddiyana Bandha. Then as you step the foot back into Warrior One, take a breath in, breathe out, and lift the foot up off the mat. We'll do 2 more, challenging our balance this morning. And 1 more, inhale into our Warrior One. Exhale, Warrior Three, and hold that balanced pose. Ignite the Uddiyana Bandha, keep breathing. You can change your arms any position that you'd like. Little soft bend in your standing knee. 2 more breaths. Abs are really zipped up here. And when you feel you're ready, step that foot back to your Warrior One. Open back out to your goalpost arms. Pull the shoulder blades back. Lift the heart. Keep the breath moving. And then bring palms back to your heart center. Straighten out the front leg and heel toe your right foot over to the right side a little bit, so you have more distance side to side between your feet. Now your yoga block may come in handy here for you as we hinge forward into a pyramid and add a rotation. So I'm going to bring my left hand down toward my shin, right side shin, and turn my body to the right. You can also place your block right underneath your left hand and rotate. Now it's a whole different experience to feel that Uddiyana bracing while you're in a twist. So once you find your pose, stabilize by pulling the Uddiyana in and keep the breath moving. This right arm can also extend up. The pose is revolved triangle. 1 more breath. Then as you lower that arm and come back to center, fold forward as much as you feel comfortable to stretch your hamstring. The block is a great tool to use to support. Or fingertips can come to your shin or your ankle. Or if you're up here a little higher, you can press on the thigh, but not to the point you're locking out your knee. So keep that softness in your knee joint. Then reaching the floor with your hands, you might need to bend your front knee a little bit. Step back to downward facing dog. And just hold your down dog still. The heels are pressing toward the earth and noticing any differences between your right and left leg. Then scoop the Uddiyana Bandha in as you breathe. And then we'll inhale to lift the left leg up. Nice big stretch and reach. Exhale to step the foot forward toward the hands. Plant your right foot about 45 degrees. The heel touches the earth. We rise up to Warrior One. So we start to spin the hips forward. So make sure you're not turned out. We want to have nice squared hips. Then come into your goalpost arms, pull the shoulder blades back. The elbows press back. The heart lifts up a little bit. And then keep your Uddiyana Bandha braced as you breathe. Open your throat a little bit. but relax your jaw. And we'll come back up, pressing the palms at your heart as we prepare to move in and out through our balance pose. So inhale here. Exhale to shift your body weight forward, picking your foot up off the floor. It doesn't have to be high, bracing the Uddiyana Bandha. On your inhale, you'll step back. Exhale, come up. If you need a little help with balance at home and you have a chair or a wall, you can gently place your fingertips on something to give you some assistance. And we'll do 2 more. Inhale to step back 1 more time. Exhale to come up. Finding that bracing of the Uddiyana Bandha. Hold your pose and breathe. So this active bracing of the core really helps to stabilize our body for balance poses. We want to be sure not to hold the breath. And then when you feel ready, step back into your warrior 1. Bring those arms back to goal post, open. And then palms come back to the heart. We'll walk this left foot out to the side a little bit and straighten your leg. So I have a little bit more support here, side to side. Begin to hinge forward, and then we'll be rotating to our left. So if you're using your block, it goes under your right hand as we turn. You can also place your right hand across your left shin or knee, or holding onto a chair in front of you at home. Option to extend this left arm up. Revolved triangle. Once you have the pose, then we bring the awareness back to that Uddiyana. Core is bracing as we're breathing. 3 more breaths. And then lower the arm down. Find your full stretch here in pyramid, coming down any amount to really feel that release in your hamstring. But not losing sight of the Uddiyana Bandha. Keep it braced. That abdominal lock is really important when we're in a forward fold to help our lower back from any stress or strain or injury. And 1 more breath. Then the hands reach down to the mat. You may need to bend your front knee and step back to your down dog and hold it very still. The only thing moving is the breath in and out through your nose, and pull in and brace the Uddiyana Bandha. The abdominal lock, the transverse abdominis. 1 more breath. Then lower the knees down to the floor to take a break in child's pose, either extended child's, or you can bring your arms next to the sides of your body for a traditional balasana. Now see if you can find the Uddiyana Bandha here. It's really difficult when we're in child's pose. There's not a lot of room to move the belly. Keep that breath moving and brace your core. One more breath. And then we'll transition to a seated position. If you need a little cushion to sit on for your tailbone, have something underneath your seat. And we're going to work on boat pose, Navasana. A wonderful exercise or pose to focus on the Uddiyana Bandha and the bracing of your abdominals. So just sitting up nice and tall, we'll inhale as our body is upright. And then with a straight back, lean back any amount, and that's your exhalation as you're bracing the Uddiyana Bandha. We'll inhale to pull the body up. Exhale to take it back. Now, depending on how your body feels, you might need a little support, so you can hold on with your fingertips slightly behind your legs. Or you can begin to advance this by actually lifting the arms up as you go back. And that is a really challenging exercise. I just felt my body really shake. So just do a few more at your own pace and kind of play with this a little bit. See where your arms can go. And your spine stays as neutral as you can keep it. Abdominals are really bracing here. We'll do 2 more moving with the breath. One more, inhale to come up. Exhale to take it back any amount and hold this. Keep breathing, but you're not moving the belly forward and back. You're keeping it braced down. Now, if you feel comfortable, lift up your right leg, straighten it. Set it to the mat. Lift up your left leg, straighten it. Set it down. You can go alternating sides or maybe try to straighten both legs up and set them down. So just maybe about 15 more seconds here. You don't have to do anything at all with your legs. You can hold behind the thighs when you're lifting the legs. One more breath. Then feet come down. Pull yourself up. Let your knees open into butterfly. To give yourself a little bit of a counter pose, we'll fold through the center and relax. So allow your hips to be soft, your inner thighs. One more breath. And then we'll come back up to find our Navasana again. Boat pose. We can keep the feet down on the floor. You can lift them up. And as we're bracing that Uddiyana Bandha, we'll find a twist. So keep the abs in. We'll inhale to open to one side. Exhale to come back into the middle. Inhale to open to the other side. Exhale to the center. We'll do 2 more each direction. Your feet can be down. Your body can even be up more. I want you to make this right for your body and not feel any strain in your lower back. One more each side. And pull yourself back up. Let the knees open and stretch through Baddha Konasana. Now we can even connect with the Uddiyana Bandha here when we're in this stretching pose. So pull the lower abs in up toward your backbone and continue to breathe. One more breath. And rise back up, close your knees. So now we'll combine the twist with the backward lean. So you're upright on an inhale. As you lean back, turn to the right and exhale. Inhale to come back up. Turn to the left, rotate, lean back, exhale. You can do this with the feet on the floor. You can also do this by lifting one leg off the mat, and it's the leg you're turning toward. So when you're turning to the right, lift up the right leg. Turning to the left, lift up the left leg. Let's do 2 more on each side. One more each direction. And come to the center. Let those knees open out one more time to stretch through the middle. And see if you can deepen that a little bit more than the first 2 times here in our Baddha Konasana. Your heels can be any distance away from your groin. So that's something you can vary each time you come into this stretch. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rise up and prepare to roll down onto your back. We'll be in a reclined position. So that boat pose we just did is our traditional Navasana. We can also do what we call low boat pose. So in low boat pose, we'll start at its foundation just by bringing the knees up to tabletop. Press your lower back in toward the mat. Inhale as your back is down on the ground, and then exhale, reach your fingertips forward and curl your head and shoulders up and scoop the Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale to lay back. Exhale to come up. This can also be done with your feet on the mat. We'll do 2 more. One more time, inhaling back. Exhale, come up and hold. Keep the belly scooped as you breathe. If your neck gets tired, you can support with your fingertips. 2 more breaths. Then relax the head back down. Keep the knees up and straighten your legs up into legs up the wall position. Now, if the next series of exercises is really challenging on the core, there's a couple things you can do. You can take your hands and tuck them underneath your glutes, which helps you to support your pelvis and helps you to brace your lower back down toward the mat. You can also use your yoga strap and place it under the bottom of your feet so you're using your hands to hold your legs up as well. I'm going to choose option 1 with my hands underneath the glutes. So the legs straight up, or whatever your hamstring length will allow, or you can bend your knees a little bit. We'll inhale here, then exhale and drop your legs down maybe about a quarter of the way to the floor. That's where we'll exhale and brace the Uddiyana Bandha. We'll inhale to lift the legs back up. Exhale to lower them down about a quarter amount. Do a few of these at your own pace. Modifications are to bend your knees and lower about a quarter of the way down. Let's do 1 more. Inhaling to lift the legs up. Exhaling to lower them a quarter down and hold and keep your lower back down into the mat. You can stay here as you are or lift the head and shoulders up off the mat and reach out. This is low boat pose. Keep the Uddiyana braced and hold here 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready, head and shoulders come back down, And we'll pull the knees right into the chest, hug them in. Rock a little bit from side to side to massage the lower back. And bring those knees back to table. Or if this is really strenuous for your lower back, you can touch your big toes down to the mat in front of you. We'll inhale here. Exhale and slightly drop your knees over to the right side. If you need a little bit more bracing, your arms can be out like a T. This will help keep your shoulders on the ground. Inhale back to the middle. Exhale, drop your knees any amount to the left side. And just go back and forth at your own pace. The exhale and the pause in the twist is where we really focus on firing the Uddiyana Bandha. If your feet are on the mat, it works the same. We just drop those knees over to the side, focusing on our core, and then to the other side. Let's get 2 more each direction. And make sure you're pausing slightly when the knees are across. So we're holding and then coming back in. But let your breath be your guide as we're doing 1 breath, 1 movement. 1 more each direction. And then coming back to center, we'll allow the feet to find the earth. Press into the heels and roll the hips up into bridge. Now, holding our bridge, I want you to focus on the Uddiyana Bandha. And your bridge can be more of a neutral spine bridge, or you can really lift those hips and make it be more about a back bend. Leave that up to you and to what feels best for your spine. Make sure you've got space between your chin and your sternum. You don't feel jammed up in your neck. So the throat is open. And let's take 3 more breaths here, bracing the Uddiyana. When you feel ready, roll down. And we'll do 1 more holding bridge with the arms either out to the side, or if you have the flexibility in your shoulders, bring your arms up above the head. Press into your feet, roll your bridge up, and hold. So it's a little bit more challenging to activate the Uddiyana Bandha when our arms are reaching up, because that action makes us want to lift the belly up toward the sky. So keep that belly pressed down while your arms are lifted. You can even do them with the arms right here and hold 3 more breaths. And then roll your spine back down. On an inhale, the arms are up. On an exhale, pull your right knee in toward your chest and curl your head and shoulders up. Option for your left leg to be straight. Inhale to lay back down, letting go of that knee. Exhale, the left knee comes in, curl up. And as you alternate this side to side, wind relieving pose, focus on scooping in the Uddiyana Bandha as the knee comes in toward you, and press your lower back down into the mat. The legs can be straight on the inhale and reach, or you can have your knees bent with your feet flat on the mat. Let's take 2 more on each side. Right, left, right, left. One more each side. Then as you come to the right side, we'll hold. Scooping the belly in, pull the knee in. You can hold here. You can let your head relax down. You can also extend your leg to straight and hold behind the thigh. You can do that with your head and shoulders up off the mat. We'll hold 3 breaths, bearing down the Uddiyana. If your leg is straight, rebend the knee. If your head and shoulders are up, allow them to return to the mat. Inhale, lengthen from head to toe, releasing that right leg. Exhale, pull the left knee in. You can hold here. You can curl the head and shoulders up, and you can straighten the leg. Press that low back down, scoop the Uddiyana. Hold 3 more breaths. If your leg is straight, rebend your knee. If your head and shoulders are up, relax them to the mat. Inhale, extend the body long, stretch. And then hug both knees up toward your chest. Your head and shoulders can curl up as well, or you can leave the head down. And then we'll begin to roll like a ball. So you can hold behind the legs or in front of the shins and start to roll the body forward and back, maybe 2 or 3 times until you can come all the way up to seated and find a nice simple cross-leg pose. Relax your shoulders, your neck. Eyes can be closed for a moment as you bring your awareness to the powerhouse, to the core, to the Uddiyana Bandha. Now, keeping the right knee bent, we'll take this left knee, set the foot on the mat in front of us, and you can tuck the right leg under a little bit more. Start to twist over to the left side, looking behind you as far as you can with a really long spine. Brace the Uddiyana, and we'll hold here 3 breaths. As you come back to center, take a counter twist the other direction, really sitting tall. Come back to center, hold behind this thigh, lean your body back a little bit and take your leg up with you. And we'll straighten and bend the leg. 3, 2, hold it straight. You can walk your hands behind the back of the shin as well. Pull the leg in toward you. Just a couple of breaths here, and you're supporting with the Uddiyana Bandha as your body's leaning backward. Now for 2 more breaths, maybe you let go. It's a modification of Navasana, our boat pose. And then rebend that knee, set the foot to the floor. Switch the position of your legs. So your left foot's going to tuck under. Your right leg is straight forward, knee bent. We'll turn to the right side first. Hand can go behind your body, almost creating a second spine by lifting up as you twist. We're turning the head as far as we can over that right shoulder. And then come back through the middle, take your counter twist. Make sure you haven't forgotten to brace the Uddiyana Bandha. Our goal for this month of working this principle in all of our classes is to be able to learn how to do it without thinking about it, to make it an everyday process in your life, in every activity that you're doing. Then we come back to the center. Hold behind that thigh, lean back a little bit to let the foot lift and straighten the leg. 3, 2, you're using your quadricep to do that. 1, and hold. The hand can walk up, pulling the leg in closer toward you, or you can let go and try to keep the leg up with the strength of your thigh. 2 more breaths. Then rebend that knee, set the foot down, and extend both legs out straight in front of you. If you'd like, grab your yoga strap and we'll hold a forward fold here. Now inhale with a long spine, then exhale, fold forward till you find your edge. Scoop your Uddiyana Bandha in and up, and we'll hold here about 30 seconds. Maybe sinking a little deeper as the muscles begin to release. One more breath. And inhale, come back up, releasing that yoga strap. Open your legs out into wide leg forward fold position. So as comfortable as you can, open the legs without straining the inner thighs. Lengthen your spine long. Exhale and fold through. And you can also keep bringing your hands behind your body and use your fingertips to gently press your upper body forward. And then find the Uddiyana, brace the lower belly, and breathe. 30 seconds. And maybe find active feet, pulling your toes up into dorsiflexion. Perhaps sinking a little lower as the muscles begin to release. And relax those muscles you're stretching. One more breath. Exhale, walk your hands back in. We'll keep the right hand tucked under the front of the body. Left arm reaches up. Come into a side stretch and reach this top hand as far as you can over toward the right foot. Some of you might be able to actually grab that big toe, using the peace finger hold, the yogi toe lock, as you hold this side bend stretch. Two more breaths. And we'll rise up. The left arm comes right in front of the body. The right arm reaches up. We side stretch. And even though we're opening up the side waist, we're keeping the Uddiyana Bandha braced. Two more breaths. Inhale, come back up. And bring the hands behind your body. So a couple of things you can do. You can place your fingertips to the mat back behind you. You can interlace your hands. You can use your yoga strap behind your body and come into a nice chest expansion. And again, the Uddiyana Bandha is braced one final time. Two more breaths. And release that chest expansion, stretch. Come back to a comfortable seat, simple cross-leg pose. And close your eyes for a few breaths as we prepare to close our practice. Our yoga practice is a journey that we move throughout our lives. As we age, as our body changes, we need to flow with that journey, adjusting our poses, adjusting our practice. So just focus on something you might have learned about your body in today's poses. Your powerhouse, the Uddiyana Bandha. And commit yourself to applying this to things that you do in your everyday life, your hobbies, your activities of daily living. We'll take a breath together, sweeping the arms out and up, pressing the fingertips, the palms, draw them into the heart. And we take this moment to honor our hard work, our dedication to our practice today, to the health of our spirit, mind, and body. And the joy that resides within my heart honors the joy in the hearts of each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. And Fern, the pool is yours. I'm going to head inside and chat. I'll be out in a couple minutes. Dave's sleeping. Oh, sorry. All right, everyone. I'll see you in there just in a short, quick 2 shakes.